Have you ever visited New York Sex Museum? It locates on 233 Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, New York. Want to know what inside looks like? The first floor is, the second floor is. But if you want to figure out why happy couples have affairs, we have to go up to the upper office above it. Hi, I'm Miss Lai. Have you thought of an affair? Did you have an affair? Have you got hurt from an affair? Keep your secret. Affairs can be very destructive if they fail to conceal. To couples, it will destroy their trust that's made up for years. To victims, it may ruin their faith in marriage. To the children who know their parents' affairs, it may impact their marriage value or ethic negatively through their whole life. Having affairs, however, as a morally sensitive and destructive issue, is a very universal phenomenon in monogamy worldwide. Even if we forget Denmark, where people are liberal not to take infidelity as a negative connotation, in the United States and China, where culturally more distressed, this phenomenon is so common as well. Let's data talk. In the United States, according to the General Social Survey from the University of Chicago from 2010 to 2016, we can see this. In China, in 2016, a survey on 60,000 people from Tencent company, the data shows this. So obviously from data we can see 1. Both men and women cheat. 2. Man is more likely to cheat than women. Today, without moral or ethical judgment, let's discover the deeper side of human nature from a multi-scientific perspective. Why both men and women cheat? New York Sex Museum I just mentioned at the very beginning of this video. More precisely, actually I want to introduce an office above it, which belongs to the famous psychotherapist Esther Perel. Her book, The State of Affairs: Rethinking Infidelity, has deeply discussed this uneducated enough topic. As herself said, this book is not based on any scientific experiment, rather it depends on the deep conversations by asking very fundamental questions from many couples around the world. In my opinion, in terms of this privacy and deep side of human nature, is more sobering and convincing than those from clinic and scientific experiment outcomes, isn't it? The key point in her book is individuals are struggling with infidelity because we are torn between our desires for adventure and the security. Let me explain this specifically. Thanks to marriage, we successfully settled in the so-called secure relationship. You share everything with your better half, building up habits together and raise children together and so on. But over time, loneliness, years of sexual deadness, resentment, regret, marital neglect, lost youth, all these negative effects in marriage have driven people to seek for something more fresh and exciting. Or we can say the power of life. Although she finds the truth behind the infidelity is nothing to do with who the third one is. Rather, it matters to the one who starts affairs. The one who is seeking novelty, freedom, independence, self-esteem, self-sense of achievement. But wait, are this all we pursue for our better self? 2. Why are men more likely to cheat than women? Actually, scientists from different fields are still arguing this issue. According to neurologic research, the sexual pursuit area of a man's brain is up to 2.5 times larger than that in women. Men report masturbating over twice as frequently as women. So, men have more primary sexual motivation than women. Men begin to produce 25 times more sexual hormone than that in women. Although this is obviously not true for all men, on average, a male's brain is evolutionarily more prone towards sexual conquest. All these biologies drive men to pursue more sexual life than women. Today, there is a current debate in the field of evolutionary psychology, whether an innate involved sex differences existence between men and women in response to an action of infidelity. From an evolutionary perspective, some researchers believe that men are theorized to maximize their fitness by investing as little as possible in their offspring and producing as many as offspring as possible. Due to the risk of males investing children that are not theirs, women who don't face the risk of cockroach are theorized to maximize their fitness by investing as much as possible in their offspring, because they invest at least 9 months' resources to boost their offspring in pregnancy. Maximize females' fitness is theorized to request the male in the relationship to invest all resources they can offer to their offspring. If women copy such having affairs behavior from men, then you can imagine that the marriage will die out eventually. Well, in order to study this phenomenon in a broader perspective, ethologists bring their views as well. As we all know, monogamy and polygamy have existed together in this world for a long time. Different civilizations worldwide. Although nowadays the major countries have been evolving themselves from polygamy to monogamy, anthropologists tend to believe our human beings are not completely monogamous nor completely polygamous. Anthropologist Bobby Lowe believed that we are slightly polygamous. Seemingly Dagger Blue, American science journalist and the owner of Pulitzer Prize, believes that we are ambiguously monogamous and slowly moving away from the polygamous habit of our ancestors. So, how to deal with affairs? Here, Miss White have wrapped up 3 tips for you. First, whatever reason you experience infidelity, seizing this opportunity to check your self-growth and your intimate relationship and rethink marriage and personal choices for now and for future. Almost every couple have been brainwashed by the conventional wisdom, how wishful and how romantic marriage is before they rush into it. However, very soon, they will find this is not the case at all. In fact, the two in different gender will experience different natural growths that maybe make them harder to compatible with each other than they were before. So in the face of this issue, you have to ask yourself both in your brain and in your heart, now will you be loyal to your self-growth for now or the relationship you committed in the past? In other words, would you like to be loyal to your self-ego for now or the social responsibility in the marriage? If only one option for you in front of you, self-adventure with the new one or maybe the same one, yes, you can fall in love with the same person for many times. Or self-security with the same one. Which one on earth you prefer to choose for your later life? Second, to be ready to rebuild the trust in intimate relationship. Whether you are in the current relationship or the new one, whether you are the cheater or the victim, you have to really face this issue. In the current relationship, rebuilding trust can be tough, both for the cheater and the victim. After all, not everybody can swallow their prize for a whole life. But the good news is, in reality, according to some scientific research, more than 1/3 of couples have fixed their relationship successfully and live happier. Due to the affair, you start a new relationship, the cheating history will affect you more or less. Every new couple will repeat the same mistake in their new life. But you have to really consider it. What if this cheating person one day cheat on you again? Third, to make a better choice for your better self, you just live once. Look at how old you are and how much time you left in your life. As an adult, whatever you make a choice, to be your better self at a payable cost, you have to really measure wisely between the sunk cost and new adventure ahead. Maximize females' fitness is theorized to require males in the relationship to invest all their resources in the offspring. Maximize females' fitness is theorized to require to request the male in the relationship to invest all resources they can offer to their offspring. If women copy such having affairs behavior from a man, then you can imagine that the marriage will die out eventually. Well, in order to study this phenomenon in a broader perspective, anthropologists bring this.